This is Monique Stevens with Moneik Quilts Quilttube number 9. I'm Monique Stevens from the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota, and today I'm going to share with you just a few of the projects that I finished over this summer. As you can see in the background, this is one that I worked most of July on, part of even June. And it is called Midnight Star or Variable Star, and it is a pattern by Angela Walters. And you can see that it has the 3 stars. You can see there's one down below and then some smaller stars up in the corners and in the center. I used the fabric line Branded, and then I put a really nice black brown, it's almost black, but it's a brown fabric behind it as the background. I had enough of the fabric left over that I'm also working on a even bigger one. So this one is 60 by 60. It's for a friend who's going through treatment for cancer, and I had enough leftovers that I think I'm going to make my dad and his wife one that's big enough for their bed. So I'm increasing the pattern size to about 96 by 96, and we'll see how that works out as I continue to make it over the next several months. These half square triangles are made in the fashion of you use squares, sew around the edges, and then cut them and trim them. And that's not how I typically make my half square triangles. I typically use the Bonnie Hunter ruler that makes the half square triangles, and that seems to be a lot easier for me. But for this pattern, I followed the directions and I made all of the blocks, and then I had to cut them up, trim them all up. And that's a significant amount of trimming when you look at all the half square triangles in this quilt. Did it work out? Absolutely. It turned out gorgeous. I think it's even more beautiful in person than it is on the screen, but it's really kind of my favorite quilt, mostly because it has special significance to me. The lady who liked the fabric, she asked me to make her some table runners. She also sews, so I know that she could have sewn and quilted them herself, but she knew that I was going through treatment, and so she was helping me out per se with my financial challenges through chemo treatments. And so I used all of the leftover scraps to make this quilt for her, as now she is battling breast cancer as well. So about 3 years ago, I went through breast cancer treatments, chemo, radiation, a double mastectomy, and now I'm on a study called the Moneik study, which is hormone blocking different medications, including a chemo pill that I take daily. So her treatments and her battle with cancer are of special significance to me, just because I had gone through it and she was supportive of me at that time. This summer I also taught a class called Simply Swoon. This is one that is the Swoon pattern, but it is in a much larger size. So this size is the 45-inch size, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's little trucks and trailers and backhoes, and it's just a really cute little boy print. It went together very, very quickly. The only difference I probably would have made is, instead of those white points, I probably would have done the kind of orange cream points, because you really can't see those extra points in it. I backed it with a little boy, dump trucks, and road construction quilt Minky. So it's really soft, really fuzzy, really fun print on the back. And I taught that class as a beginning quilting class, and almost everybody got all their blocks done. They didn't get their tops done. But if we had had 2 nights, I think that they would have been able to get their quilts completely done. The other quilt that I worked on this summer was a special quilt for a relative's friend, and this one is called Happy Blocks, and as you can see, it's just squares with borders. It's very, very simple to make. It uses the batiks that have like animals on them. So I don't know if you can see, there's trees, there's a bear, but every block in the center has a different, cutout. And so these are ones, this is kind of a purple, green, and then the batik has a little bit of blue in it. So I made this one for my mother-in-law's brother's girlfriend. She is taking care of him, and I think that it will be a nice cozy quilt. I did put a green glittery minky on the back, which is really fun, and it just provides that softness to the quilt. And as you can see, it kind of glitters, but it's really lightweight because I used flannel scraps in it, and that seems to make minky quilts a lot lighter and a lot better for snuggling, especially if you're in a warmer climate. The other projects that I've been working on are the project bags from By Annie. So I have the jumbo size here and the small size. I'm not sure if I made this again, if I would put this handle on the small size. It kind of seems like it's maybe a little overkill. But you can see in this project bag, I have the paper cutouts for a sunflower by Violet Craft. And this is my next English paper piecing project. So I just started punching out all of the papers, and I have all my fabrics selected, and I'm starting on that project. So this is the small project bag by Annie, and then this is the jumbo project bag by Annie. And both of them I used the Tulip Pink homemade line. I had quilted it up on my machine. I quilted like 3 yards of it, and have just been making several By Annie bags that use quilted fabrics. So this will be for one of my works in progress quilts as I kind of move to the next project. So that's what I've been working on in July, August. I really haven't done a whole lot. I felt like I was going to get a whole lot more done this summer, and all of those projects are still laying in a bag in my camper, just waiting. I'm working on a rainbow quilt for a customer. I'm working on a Lone Star pillowcases, again for somebody who's requested them. And then I'm also working on an amethyst bag. So it's kind of similar to your project boxes. It's that 12.5 inch project box size. That one is a So Sweetness pattern. And I'm about a third of the way. I've got all of the stuff made, and now I just need to kind of put it together. So that's what I'm currently working on. I'm also doing a lot of embroidery, and I think I mentioned this before. My brother has a new business in Phillips, South Dakota. It's called Hardy Auto and Tire. And so I made some caps embroidered for him that have the little hat logo on there, if you can see that, and the wrench and the tire. So he is just starting full-time in his business, and I have been embroidering the caps for him. So he bought me a purple one to do for myself, so I got to keep that one, and that's kind of what I am proud of, is the fact that he's going out and he's doing that, and that's one way that I can help him out with his business. As you can see, the sun is bright this morning, and I usually tape in the afternoon, but today I decided I was going to do it first thing in the morning, and show you kind of what I've been working on. Some other things that are kind of in the back burner: I'm making an Anna bag by Sally Tomato. I'm working on a class for that one as well at the Sewing Center this fall. I'll be teaching the Simply Swoon as a beginning machine piecing class again, and I will also be teaching beginning machine quilting this fall as well. I had a really great class over the last couple weeks for that. I also taught the Sew Together bag. Some of you are familiar with that bag. It has 3 zippers with pouches in the center, and then 1 zipper that goes over the top. And that was a class that I taught last week, and it went so well. All of the ladies got just about to the end where they were putting the binding on their zippers. So that's, to me, really great, and I hope that it is helpful for them to have that bag. So those are the things that I have been working on this summer. It's now time to gear up for the Central States Fair, which is next week. So I will be helping in the sewing division with that. And then the other thing that's going on is that it's the start of school. So for the start of school, that means getting all of my students registered, making sure that they're in their right classes, making sure that I have all my faculty on board and hired, and getting all of the necessary tools for them. So it's going to be a busy few weeks, and I say once Labor Day hits, then I can kind of relax. Last night I went to my first PTA meeting for West Middle School, which is the middle school that my daughter will be attending, and boy, I'm just not ready for her to be in middle school. It kind of has snuck up on me, but she is thrilled. We have all of the school supplies bought, and she is just ecstatic about starting school. So I hope that will continue as she goes through middle school and high school as well. This weekend we are helping with Achievement Days, and the kids are going to get to do presentations and Project Runway in my hometown, and so I'm kind of excited that the kids will get to experience that with my niece and nephew back in my old hometown. So a lot going on for us. It's a busy time of year, but I am just plugging away at the little bit of projects that I do have, hoping to get a few more things done for the fair, and then continuing to work on some of those things that are on the back burner. I just cut out a couple more blue and yellow quilts, and so those will be coming up real soon. But it's a busy time of year, and I want to stay outside, and I don't want to come in and sew as early as I normally do. And so sometimes it's just to bed instead of sewing, and that's okay too. It's very relaxing to me. But sometimes I just need a little bit of sleep. So those are kind of the updates. As I looked back at my calendar, I hadn't updated my calendar since July. So I know that it's been busy, and I just haven't taken the time to write down all those things that I've been making. But it also has been a little bit slower time, and that's okay as well. So I want to thank you for joining me on Moneik Quilts Quilttube. And I want to send a special shout out to Two Tall Stitchers. They got little stickers, and they're super cute. So if you enjoy cross-stitching quilting, go over to Two Tall Stitchers on YouTube and check out their channel. The other one that I've been watching a lot of is the Cornhusker State Stitchers, and they're doing a sew along, and they are a mother-daughter team. And if my mom was still here, she would absolutely be doing this with me, because she had made so many projects and had so many things that were always works in progress going on. And so they remind me a lot of my mom and I when we were spending time and teaching our bag classes together and stuff. So again, I would encourage you to check out the Cornhusker State Stitchers and Two Tall Stitchers, a couple of my favorite floss tubes that I've been watching as well. So until next time, have a great day and enjoy quilting away. And apparently my lights are going to go off again. So thanks for stopping by.